Hello, my name is Mark Wright. I'm assistant head teacher at Brentwood County High School.
Okay, and do you want to tell us what you're doing with the coaching?
Yes, it's actually evolved over the last 2 years. We've been very fortunate to have 2 cohorts of 10 staff, a mixture of support staff and teaching staff, to bring them close together, actually undertaking this training over the 2 years. Last year, when our colleagues qualified as coaches, 9 out of 10 of them managed to achieve the champion status, which is a fantastic result for that cohort. Instantly, we gauged interest with the main body of the staff by asking who would like to be coached, who would like to be trained as coaches, and there was a massive turnout of interest after we presented to them. The biggest impact of that are people who are sceptical about coaching, who've been through the process and actually feel confident and have gained from it, presenting to the rest of the staff who see that converted sceptic who actually believes in it. So we had a huge interest expressed, and 10 of those people went on this year to train us to become coaches, and those who were trained last year have been coaching a variety of staff and even some students over the course of this year. They've had a massive impact on the way they perceive themselves and how they self-manage their solutions.
That's brilliant. What sort of impact has it had in the classroom?
In the classroom, what it's done is it allows members of staff to actually challenge students with coming up with their own solutions to problems in a culture where it's very easy for teenagers to make excuses for things not being done. But by asking enabling questions like what, how and if, rather than the confrontational questions like why, it's opened up a whole sense of thinking about solutions for the students that puts them at the centre of their responsibilities. And by getting students to think like that, by these trained coaches rubbing off on them, it has a major impact. Our sixth formers, for example, by understanding how it works, are able now to support other students as well. So it's not just about the teachers doing it, it's also about the students understanding how you find solutions and supporting each other in very simple ways. Fabulous,
fabulous. So I know you've done a bit of coaching before, because you've told me that you were experienced with the GROW model.
Yes.
So how's what you're doing now different to that?
Well, the GROW model, by comparison to the Coachinginschools model, seems more like the repeating model. I actually think the GROW model is very rigid, with goal, then obviously the other parts of it, the reality, the objectives, obstacles, and the way forward. But it's very, very closed off. What the 12-step model does with the Coachinginschools method is it gives you 2 opportunities to explore the steps and solutions to the goal. And these steps are exercised rigorously by the coachee being challenged to dig deeper and find more solutions than those superficial, easy to find ones. And it gets the coachee to really pull in their resources and experiences from deep down inside them and their memories to the fore. And then you challenge those with the obstacle questions that come out. And then for the second round of going through the steps and finalising the steps, they're pretty airtight. You don't get that with the GROW model. And therefore, I think that this new method that we've learned adds more depth of detail to the thought process in finding solutions.
That's brilliant. In terms of impact, what difference have you found in terms of impact doing it this way?
I have found that the impact that it's actually had is it really empowers and enables the people being coached to come up with solutions to any problem in any walk of their life. They could be problems at home, problems with their finances, problems at work. But in a way that is totally facilitated by the coach through those 12 steps and through those what's, how, if questions. And the most wonderful thing is the very challenging aspect of the assessments in the coaching course is that you need to listen for 80% of the time. Now, as you can probably tell, I find it very, very difficult to do. I'm quite a chatterbox. But having achieved that, 91% of listening last year myself, which is amazing to me. As is evident. But that shows that for 91% of the time, the person who's being coached is doing the talking. And while they're doing that, they are raiding around within their own resources and coming up with solutions. You don't get that with other models.
Cool. So you're now thinking about how you're going to be moving it on in school. So just tell us what your plans are for the next few years.
We will now have 16 trained coaches from the 2 cohorts we've had in school next year. We have 8 new members of staff joining the school in September. We're making coaching part of their induction package. So yes, the other 8 staff will be coaching those who opt and wish to volunteer to be coached, but we'll be offering, as part of the induction package, the new trainees and also some new members of staff coming here, coaching as part and parcel of that. We know that going to a new school can be quite challenging. It is like changing culture. And I believe that through coaching, we can actually support them and adapt to that culture.
Brilliant. Fabulous. So what would you say to someone that's thinking of doing the programme?
I would say, don't be sceptical or be sceptical. We've had some skeptics doing the course over these last 2 years. They have been totally converted by their experiences. And their feedback to my colleagues has been very powerful because they've known to be the skeptics. My response would be, do the course, do the training. It isn't only a valuable tool to use in your working life, it's an amazing tool to use in your own personal life and every walk of life. Whether you're walking down a high street, whether you're talking to a friend, a relative who's got a difficulty or something that needs supporting with, anything that requires a solution, that is the way to do it. And I think anyone who trains with coaching in schools to get this are developing skills for life. Oh,
thank you. You've just said anyone who trains with coaching in schools, so why us, not other people? What's different about us?
Well, 2 things. I only have 2 experiences.
Yeah.
One is the Wright model and the one is coaching in schools.
Okay.
And in my opinion, the coaching in schools completely trumps it. In my background, I'm doing a variety of my own research and reading into coaching, for example, neuro-linguistic programming and coaching as well. But for me, from what I've read so far, which is very, very little, I see that as supplementing the solidity, the programme that I've just done of coaching in schools, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Cool. So if you could sum it up in 3 words, what would you say?
3 words?
It's going to be a challenge, Mark.
Oh, it's going to be a challenge, okay. I would say this. I'm going to call it a serendipitous epiphany stream. 3 words.
Brilliant. Love it.
There was an of in there, that'd be 4 words. So serendipitous epiphany stream.
That's brilliant. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you very much indeed.